Welcome back to Sailing Extreme and part 2 of our Channel Islands adventure. If you missed episode 1, here's a quick recap. We left Christchurch with a fully provisioned boat and a very flexible plan, as the weather in the lead-up had been particularly unpredictable. Keen to finally get underway, we head out with the prospect of a few weeks aboard ahead of us. After a late start, waiting for the sea breeze to fill in, we made good progress across Bournemouth Bay, deciding to head towards Portland. However, as we continued west, a mist formed over the land and the wind began to fade. We made use of our A2 sail in the light breeze to carry us along the Jurassic coastline. Eventually, the wind fades to nothing, and we enter Portland as dusk approaches and spend the night on anchor and wait the next 24 hours for the conditions to improve. When the wind finally returned, it delivered near-perfect conditions for a channel crossing. There was a small amount of apprehension, as this was my first ever channel crossing under sail and Luke's first crossing aboard his own vessel. With a steady breeze from astern, we launched the asymmetric spinnaker early, carrying us smoothly through the shipping lanes. We originally planned a stop in Bray Harbour, Alderney. However, due to the prevailing wind direction from the northeast, we chose to bypass Alderney for now. It was just off Cascais Lighthouse that a shackle on our spinnaker snuffer suddenly failed, bringing the sail down without warning. Thankfully, everything was recovered safely and we completed the crossing under Genoa at a slightly slower pace, arriving in St Peter Port, Guernsey, feeling elated and excited about what lay ahead. The following morning started overcast, so I head out to stretch my legs on a short run to explore around the harbour. We had stayed overnight on the walk-ashore swan pontoons in the harbour, but there are a number of marinas in St Peter Port. Victoria Marina is for visitors, the QE2 Marina to the north where I spot a fellow dragonfly, and Albert Marina are primarily for annual berth holders. With the weather now beginning to improve, we set off to explore the island. Our first stop was Castle Cornet. We arrived just in time for the daily cannon firing. Castle Cornet has guarded the harbour for over 800 years, a reminder that these islands are steeped in history, much of it shaped by the German occupation during the Second World War. After some time spent exploring the castle, we jump on a bus to the west side of the island, where forts and bunkers are scattered along the rugged coastline. As the tide falls and more rocky outcrops appear, we get an appreciation for how significantly bigger the rise and fall of tide is here compared to that at home. We visit Fort Grey, which is now home to a shipwreck museum, which tells the story of vessels that over the centuries have fallen victim to the Channel Islands' fierce tides and unforgiving rocks.
And today we are sailing to Sark. We've got Herb that we're just sailing past over here, and Sark is over there. So a little bit of an upwind lead, but it's not too far to go, perhaps an hour and a half of sailing, and so far it's quite nice out here.
From St Peter Port, we head south, choosing to pass outside the South Cardinal Mark, staying well clear of the reefs and rocks to the south of Herm. We were excited with the prospect of being able to explore Sark. It's the smallest self-governing island within the bailiwick of Guernsey, at only 5.5 kilometres long by 2.5 kilometres wide, with a resident population of around 500 people. in Sark being short, it crosses water with some of the largest tidal ranges in Europe, exceeding 8 to 10 metres on a spring tide. There are many rocks in the waters surrounding Sark that uncover at low tide and are completely submerged at high tide, so caution needs to be taken when approaching, and we keep a close eye on the chart as we near the island. We head to Havre Gosselin to make the most of a couple days of more settled weather. Here, a small collection of mooring buoys sit tucked into a rocky bay where there is a small dinghy landing stage. After hauling the dinghy safely above the high tide line, we began the steep climb onto the island. The path is well maintained, with plenty of steps, but it definitely requires a reasonable level of fitness. Once at the top though, the effort is instantly rewarded. The views are breathtaking, and the beauty of Sark quickly begins to unfold. Each Channel island has its own unique character, and on Sark it feels like stepping back in time. Aside from a few tractors, there are no cars on the island, and horse and cart still serve as the main mode of transport.
Yeah, so this is the Germans concreted the side, but not the centre, so horses can still travel.
We made our way south toward La Coupe, a narrow ridge connecting the peninsula of Little Sark to the main island.
Whoa, that is otherworldly.
The views here are incredible, with Jersey just visible in the distance to the southeast. And Guernsey a short distance away to the west.
Just out of view. Becky picking some sandfire for our fish dinner.
After stopping at the local pub to quench our thirst, we paddle back to the boat to prepare some fresh local fish we'd picked up from Surf and Turf, a fantastic produce shop in St. Peter Port.
What's about to happen? Rain?
No,
No. Sun's
nice
going to
bit
come
of
out.
cooking. Yeah, looking good. Prawns on the barbie. Prawns on the barbie.
Oh wait, everyone else can smell the prawns and maybe the seagulls might come as well. Idyllic.
Barbecuing fish. Lovely calm anchorage. And Mr. Seagull wings for some food.
The following morning, we head back ashore to explore the north of the island, and once again, we weren't disappointed by Sark's rugged natural beauty. Sark truly is a magical place, so we were sad to leave. But with more exploring ahead, Liberation Day celebrations just around the corner, and another spell of unsettled and particularly windy weather on the way, we decide to head back to Guernsey. Join us next time as we experience the atmosphere of Liberation Day and uncover more of the fascinating history of the Channel Islands.